Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew, and I'm an alcoholic, and today, by the grace of God, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. Tonight, 7 o'clock, if you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia area, I encourage you to come on down to Pea Ridge United Methodist Church for our Crosstalk meeting. It's where we hold our Crosstalk meetings, but tonight, we have our inaugural Crosstalk Spotlight, where we throw somebody up in front of the entire room and they get to share their experience, strength, and hope, their own words of wisdom. And tonight's inaugural speaker will be Mr. Eric Wilson. I've known Eric for just right around 18 months, I guess. It's great whenever he shares, because I'm reminded of his side, his version, his perspective of different events that have happened. It gives me something to contrast against my perspective and the things that I got to see and witness as he began his recovery journey. So again, tonight at 7 o'clock, if you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia area, come on down and let Eric share his experience, strength, and hope with you. Crosstalk Spotlight is designed to be an interactive meeting, so you'll get to ask questions and make comments to Eric in real time. So I want to talk today about something that I was thinking through yesterday. Yesterday was our day off, and we each kind of go off and do our own thing. We'll pray, meditate, just spend time with ourselves, things like that. And for me, I kept thinking about going back over the course of my life and all the things that all the skills and talents that I've developed, if you will. But then it dawned on me, out of all these skills and talents I've developed, there's really only one thing I'm perfect at. I consider myself to be an expert in, if you will. I'm really good at database programming and data warehousing programming, if you will. That's what I do professionally, of course. I'm a programmer. I'm very, very good at nutrition and exercise metabolism. I absolutely think it's fascinating. Bioenergetics, fascinating field of study. I'm pretty good at it. I'm really, really stinking good at Civil War history. Anyone who knows me knows you don't want to start talking Civil War history around me, because you'll be there for like 5 hours. I'm really good at a lot of things, but what's one thing that I consider myself an expert in? And I had to think about that, and then it hit me. I didn't have to think too much harder, too much longer, because then it hit me. I am an absolute expert in one thing, and that one thing that I'm an expert in is fucking things up. And I think it was so ironic, because this morning I woke up and right on the phone, the very first thing I saw was, "It's Fucked Up Friday." And I was like, that is perfect with what I wanted to share this morning. It's Fucked Up Friday. Well, I was so good at fucking things up. I've spent the last almost 49 years fucking things up, whether I was drunk or sober. Keep in mind, a lot of my things a lot of the ways I honed that skill was I was sober too. A great example I've shared before, how I made a comment to my wife 3 days before she gave birth to my daughter, that the yellow dress she was wearing, she reminded me of Big Bird. I didn't mean that she was Big Bird, but that's how she took it. Pregnant women take things differently, I learned. Again, I fucked things up. And I was completely sober, by the way. I was completely sober when I got my wife an anniversary card on mine and my ex-wife's anniversary. Completely fucking sober. The best one, I think, was when I got my wife a Valentine's Day card, and I didn't bother to read the front of it. And as she's coming in the door, I'm sliding it in the envelope. And as I'm sliding it in the envelope, on the cover of the card that I bought for my wife, it says, "To my husband." And she's like, "Well, you must not have read the front of the card." I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't. I read the inside of the card." I had no idea what it said either. These were all things I did whenever I was perfectly sober. So you can only imagine the things I did whenever I was fucked up. Whenever every day was a fucked up Friday, if you will. Bill writes on page 21, he's talking about the real alcoholic, and he gives a great description here. He has a positive genius for getting tight at exactly the wrong moment, particularly when some important decision must be made or engagement kept, like Valentine's Day or anniversaries or whatever. And again, those are all whenever I was perfectly sober. You can only imagine what it was like whenever I got drunk. And I was thinking about, even now, I'm going on 3 years of sobriety. And even now, that's still the one thing I'm an expert in, is fucking things up. Whenever I try to get in the driver's seat, whenever I tell God, my higher power, whom I choose to call God, whenever I say, hey, you know what, let me take the wheel here, and I start driving that car, I always end up in the fucking ditch. All right, I always end up stranded, and then I got to call, the God's towing service to pull me out of the ditch. Let him back me out and let him set me back on the right path. And time and again, though, I still get it in my head that, you know what, hey, God, thanks for coming by and pulling me out of the ditch. Thanks for coming by and putting out the fire. But let me drive again. And God, being the gentleman that he is, he says, sure, have at it. Here you go. He knows because he knows I'm going to be calling on him really soon. Just because we get clean and sober doesn't mean that our lives get perfect. I've said this 1,000 times. My life got bad. I mean, it got worse after I got sober. My first sponsor always told me, he said, you're the only person I know whose life went worse, whose life became worse after you got clean and sober. And he was right. I mean, it wasn't easy. Life doesn't get easy. And the problem becomes, and I shared this yesterday actually on a Facebook post. The problem is all up in here. See, I start overthinking things. I start complicating the shit out of the simplest things. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Oh gosh, blah, blah, blah. I start we will take the simplest things and we will overcomplicate the fuck out of them. And that's how we end up fucking things up, even when we're sober. So the one thing I have taken away from all this is, just because I got sober doesn't mean that I got smart. No, doesn't mean I'm intelligent. It just meant that I'm sick and tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. That I was sick and tired of living the same fucked up life over and over again, just like Groundhog Day. I now have the ability to, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to fuck things up. Just ask anyone in my family. But I have the chance now to become a little bit better person each and every day. A little bit better than what I was the day before. Some days I am a success at that simple goal. Some days I'm not. But each day I wake up, I have another chance to try to improve myself. And after all, isn't that why we got clean and sober? To enjoy our lives rather than just sitting there and going, if you want what I have and you want to be happy, joyous, and free every single fucking night. No, that's, we take our nights off too during the weeks. We have to have that time for ourselves, to where we spend with our families and our loved ones and our friends, to where we learn about the kind of people that we're trying to become, so we can make sure that we do our best at, not fucking that up. Because again, we're going to fuck things up in our lives. There's no question, whether we're clean, sober, or not. It doesn't matter how many years of sobriety you have or clean time you've got under your belt. You're still going to fuck things up. Stop overthinking things. For me, that was the number one thing. I would always overthink things, and I would always overthink and come to believe that, oh God, you can step out of the driver's seat now. I can take over from here. Thank God, thank my God anyway, that he has a 24-hour towing service and he can always come and bail me out. I hope that as I get older, I won't be making those phone calls to him anymore. Hopefully, as I get older, I'll be able to allow him to continue and to allow him to stay in my driver's seat. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to hear discussed, feel free to drop it in the Recovery Classroom private group Facebook group page, where it's a private group. We maintain anonymity, so you can drop your topic in there, and there's a whole slew of us back there. We'll take a look at it, see what we can do. You can email me your topic directly, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it, see how I can parse it out. Again, tonight's Crosstalk Spotlight meeting, our very first inaugural meeting, 7 o'clock, Pea Ridge United Methodist Church, 5747 East Pea Ridge Road in Huntington. We'll see you there. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.